Hey guys, it's Shane here, back with a late video. This video is gonna be about Goku. As you may or may not know, May 9th is Goku Day. Hey, where did Goku Day come from? Well, Goku's name in Japanese, Go, is the number 5, and Ku is one of the ways to say 9. So, in Japan, they decided to make every May 9th Goku Day. Which coincidentally is also Piccolo Day if you've ever seen the original Dragon Ball. So I have come with originally going to be a top 5, my top 5 Goku fights. Then I said, well, it's Dragon Ball, so let's do a top 7. And then, as I was going through Goku's fights, it ended up becoming a top 10. This one's a little bit off the cuff, but I do have my list of which ones. I'm going to start at 10 and go all the way up to 1. So, the criteria for this. Well, I tried to make it at least one-on-one fights between Goku against another person, or at least Goku fighting by himself for the most part. Also, there is the fight is also with relevance to the series, to the character. Another one is flair or action, depending on how much action that you get in this fight. So those are at least 3 of the criteria. It's Goku by himself. It is significance within the story of the characters, and it is how amazing is the fight. That last part, how amazing is the fight? That's a bit of a subjective thing. So if you disagree with me, please make a comment down below. Tell me what do you think of this list. So allow us to begin. Number 10 is Super Saiyan 4 Goku versus Super Baby Vegeta. I also didn't mention that I looked at Goku's fights across Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, and Dragon Ball Super. So this is going on across, and my number 10 should show you that. So why did I pick this fight? It was difficult because Goku also had a good fight with Super 17, which I particularly like that one a little bit more. Goku also had a fight with Senshinron before he became Omega Shenron. I did not pick Senshinron because he technically didn't beat him. He put a hole through him, and then Senshinron transformed into Mega Shenron. But I kind of believe that the Omega Shenron fight with him and Vegeta, and him and Vegeta turning into Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta to be a lot better than that fight. I also put this one on because this is a bit of it's a callback. This fight is a callback to Goku first fighting Vegeta, and this is also kind of it's saying what if Goku had no choice but to fight his friend, because he starts off, and if you've never seen GT, Goku is little, so he starts off as little, goes to Super Saiyan, goes to Super Saiyan 3, and another reason why I picked this is because he becomes Super Saiyan 4 for the first time in this. And this has relevance because it shows during these heated moments how not just Goku's own strength, but his granddaughter Pan kind of had to talk him down, because in order to become Super Saiyan 4, you got to become a golden ape. And we all know, if you've seen Dragon Ball, the ape form, or the Ozaru form, is very hard to control. They're basically mindless beasts, but they're very powerful mindless beasts. And through some talking down, seeing an old photo from the last days of Dragon Ball Z, he is able to turn into Super Saiyan 4 by harnessing that energy. And this fight's pretty damn good. It goes from him beating down Baby, while Baby is Super Vegeta Baby 2 with the little wings. That's why I did that. It goes from that to brainwash Bulma kind of cheating and turning, Super Baby into this giant golden ape, which is able to go toe to toe with Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Goku was very much prepared to end his friend's life, but I cut the fight off there because towards the end of it, he didn't really get help from the others, but the others did serve as a distraction, and Oob being inside of Super Monkey Baby Vegeta kind of helped out a little bit. That's why this is number 10, because Goku, he was fighting by himself, but he had a little bit of assistance, and this plays a big part of the story because where they were fighting was the new planet Truffle. They weren't fighting on Earth. Earth was far away and it looked like a moon, and in order for him to, he had to win this fight in order to get everything back to normal. In order for them to get back to Earth, I think Piccolo died during this whole baby fiasco, which is just whatever. So that's my number 10. Number 9 is Kid Goku versus Demon King Piccolo. This battle was the start of Goku had his potential unlocked by, I believe it was by Kami. This was the start of Goku, how do I put this? This was the first villain where it was like, I don't beat this guy, the world is going to be completely different. Demon King Piccolo was killing folks. He was taking over villages. One of his guys killed Krillin for the first time. So that was more than enough motivation for Kid Goku to go through this. And actually, during the fight, Demon King Piccolo was threatening Tien's life, knocked out all Goku's limbs but one hand, and all he needed was that one hand to win that fight, and you get that iconic Goku tearing through King Piccolo and Kamehameha him, which leads into him making Piccolo Jr. one of the best characters of Dragon Ball history. The relevance of this, and it was a big part of the story. This is arguably the last big bad they had to deal with before getting to the last tournament arc in the Dragon Ball series. The fight was really interesting. It's Dragon Ball, so to see these guys moving around fast, that was one of the very starts of characters moving quicker than your eyes can see. Number 8 is Kid Goku versus Jackie Chun, also known as Master Roshi. Why is this fight on here when it's not super speed or anything like that? And the Kamehameha wave takes a long time to do, especially when you got to get maxed out to do it. For story reasons, actually. Master Roshi saw that Goku came so far in what was relatively a short amount of time that he knew that if Goku had won that whole tournament, he would have either become lazy or he would have thought that he was the best in the world, that if no one can beat him, he would have become a total a-hole. That's what Jackie Chun / Master Roshi was trying to teach him. He wanted to show him that there's always a person that's stronger than you, which pretty much follows Goku for the rest of his life. He already knows there's always another person, there's always another villain, there's always someone that can be stronger than you, so you got to be ready. This fight's pretty damn good. I think it spans like 4 episodes. This is one of the few fights on here that I did not have to go back and rewatch because I remember it, and I remember watching it on a weekday afternoon. Number 7, Goku versus Piccolo Jr. This fight showed how far Dragon Ball had come. Now, the stakes were kind of high because Piccolo had beaten Kami, was able to put Kami into a jar thanks to the reverse Mafuba technique. Swallowed it. So if Goku didn't beat him, there was a potential that we'll get another Demon King Piccolo arc, and they all remembered how terrible that whole thing was. Everyone was afraid. During this battle, this is the second instance where we get characters moving faster than the eye can see. And what was interesting about it is all the Z fighters could catch up, and Chi-Chi was a few seconds behind, but if you pay attention, people they're able to look left and right and see them moving around. This is probably the last fight before flying is involved. And the fight was pretty good. You get the growing in size Piccolo. You get Goku being inventive with his move with the feet Kamehameha wave. Pretty good all around fight. I have to say Dragon Ball has some of the best fights in it. By no means is this list saying that other fights or other Goku fights aren't good, but these are the ones that just kind of stand out. Excuse me, I take a drink of water. So we are up on number 6, which I'm probably gonna get some flack for this. Super Saiyan Goku versus Frieza, and this fight, you're fighting on a planet that should have exploded 5 episodes ago. This is what many call the birthplace of the shonen transformation. This moment not only accentuates what Dragon Ball is going to become, or the Dragon Ball franchise is going to become, it pretty much affects all of the shonens. Without Goku turning Super Saiyan for this fight and getting to a new level of power, you won't get characters like Luffy getting his second gear mode. You wouldn't get characters like Asta from Black Clover getting his demon mode. I haven't really read that. I know the character, I just haven't read that. You wouldn't get Ichigo getting his Mary Sue transformations. You wouldn't get Naruto getting his Fox mode, his Sage mode. You wouldn't get any of those things without this. Now, yeah, there have been transformation modes in the past. Actually, in Japanese culture, if you know anything about Kamen Rider, and I love me some Kamen Rider Stronger started the whole super form transformation, which I'm pretty sure played. Sorry about that. Pretty sure that played into Akira Toriyama making there be a Super Saiyan mode. And if there's a starking difference between watching this in English and Japanese, because in Japanese, you don't know what's going to happen. You've never seen anything like this before, so it's really dramatic. And on the English side, it was hype. Being a kid and watching Goku turn Super Saiyan finally, because we all knew it was going to happen. We got the rest of Dragon Ball late in the middle of the '90s, but seeing that fight was amazing. It played into the story because right before this moment, Krillin got killed for the second time, and in the canon at that time, once you got brought back once, you can get brought back again by Dragon Balls. And Piccolo had been mortally wounded, so it just left Goku and little kid Gohan, and Goku just snapped. That's your story element. Tons of drama, really great fight, interesting ending. Because if you haven't seen it, which I don't know how you haven't seen it, spoiler. I really honestly thought Goku killed Frieza. Begrudgingly, always thought he killed Frieza, which obviously we find out somewhere down the road he didn't. Just, I know some people probably think this is probably the best fight. Probably should be higher than 6, but it has a significance to it, and I really don't care about any other times Goku's fought Frieza and Super or anything like that. This is the time. This is the best time. Number 5, we're going to go into Dragon Ball Super with Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue, Ultra Instinct Sign, Goku versus Kale, Khalifa / Kefla. So why that long title? This fight starts with Goku fighting Khalifa, kind of teaching her in a way, because over the years Goku's become a teacher, pseudo teacher, and he's showing her, there's other levels to being a Super Saiyan. And you get Kale coming in, and Goku welcomed them to come in. Now, if you've seen Tournament of Power, which I really hope you have, Goku has been fighting a bunch of people. He's been going in and out between fights, and he's pretty tired. So he's ramping up from Super Saiyan 2, using a little bit of Super Saiyan 3 to deflect their attacks. Goes into Super Saiyan God. And while fighting, the two use a Patora fusion, which saves them from being knocked out. And they're pushing Goku to the limit, to the point where He uses Super Saiyan Blue. He uses Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. He still he can't get the job done. Gets knocked out, but that Ultra Instinct sign that we saw maybe like 10 episodes before when you first encountered Jiren kicks in, and it leads to one of the best fight sequences in all of Dragon Ball Super. You know, Goku is dodging these attacks left and right, charging up his Kamehameha wave, and literally surfs on this large beam of energy just to get to them and knock both of them out. So, I already told you, it's an amazing fight. And part of the reason why this is number 5 is that it shows us the progression of Goku a bit. You go from Super Saiyan 2 all the way up to the Ultra Instinct form that finally showed up. We don't really get Goku getting many fights against other Saiyans in the series, so him having an opportunity to fight against a high level legendary Super Saiyan 2 fusion fighter like this is probably something we won't get again unless they decide to have, Dragon Ball Super Broly fuse with someone, which will never happen. Never say never, but I don't think it will ever happen. And again, the stakes are high. If your universe doesn't win, your universe gets knocked out. And Goku is easily one of the top 3, top 5 fighters of Universe 7. So this was pretty much a do or die situation for Goku. Number 4, Super Saiyan Goku versus Cell. I went back and forth between putting this on the list, and then when I thought about my criteria, I knew it had to be on there. See, this fight was what we were waiting for, basically for the whole Android saga. We're waiting for Goku to finally fight one of these beings, right? And we saw him training. He trained up his son. He got his son to go Super Saiyan. He got him and his son perfecting the Super Saiyan level, right? So obviously this fight with Cell was going to be amazing, which it was. Watching that as a kid, still being able to remember that fight to this day, was pretty damn amazing. And Goku turns out to combine the instant transmission, which allows him to teleport any place he can sense, with his Kamehameha wave. That is still one of my top 5 favorite moves. When video games came out, I would pick Goku just to do that move. And that moment when he blows off the whole top half of Cell, and then you realize, oh yeah, we've seen this before, and Cell comes back. So for action, amazing. For story, Goku basically says, I can't beat you, but my son can. This pardon me, I got some sinuses going on. This part of the story kind of shows that Goku doesn't really know his son very well. Gohan is stronger than he is the strongest person of the Z fighters, but his unwillingness, he doesn't want to fight. He doesn't like to fight. And Goku didn't pay attention to that until it was too late. And that is a very significant story moment that leads down a path that many a Gohan fan is at least one of the best fights with Gohan versus Cell. But it's that moment that highlights Gohan is not just Goku 2.0. He is his own person. You actually get some of these character traits. You see some of these Gohan character traits from future Gohan, and you see some of them from future Trunks as well, but it highlights these characters have different motivations, which is kind of hard to do for an anime like this. A lot of people accuse Dragon Ball Z of not having much story. You have to be invested in these characters to see these small nuances, and I definitely believe this fight is more nuanced than anything. And again, Goku's fighting by himself. So, number 3, which is a fight that many people probably say is the best, Ultra Instinct slash Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku versus Jiren. This is the second fight. Technically, the last time they fight one-on-one. This comes after Vegeta loses against Jiren, and he gives Goku the rest of his energy. And the fight typically starts off the same as most of his fights with Jiren has been up to this point. Goku is having a hard time. He can't necessarily tap into the Ultra Instinct, which the way he taps into it vastly differs from the manga. Excuse me. I do recommend people reading the manga. I had to dig a little bit into this fight just to make sure I wasn't misremembering anything. And the moment where Jiren just pisses over the whole, I fight for my friends. Your friends make you stronger. And he gets so mad that he almost, he goes to attack Universe 7, and Goku just snaps and taps into the full Ultra Instinct. Plus, the Ultra Instinct song is amazing. Just completely amazing. And when Jiren finally unleashes his power, and he has this fiery aura, and he's this big, thick, gray alien man, we get the fight that we have been waiting for so long in this whole entire tournament. Arguably the best fight. I think a close second would be Vegeta, Super Saiyan Blue evolved Vegeta versus Topo. But this fight is amazing. If you want just a straight action and visuals, this has it. The story comes in, you can't lose. If you lose, Goku, we're all done. Frieza's gone. 17 died. Frieza can't do this by himself. Jiren is the strongest fighter in this tournament. You have to win, and it's almost philosophy versus philosophy. And Goku technically had that fight won until, as with all super powerful transformations, there is a drawback. I had to sift through this one because this was their one-on-one, and it was pretty damn good. My number 2 fight, Goku versus Vegeta, Saiyan Saga for the first time. This fight is my number 2 fight because it sets the tone for the rest of Dragon Ball Z. And you could argue Goku and Piccolo versus Raditz. To me, that fight felt more like a Dragon Ball fight with more story added to it. This set the tone. Completely set the tone. You got these guys flying. You have Vegeta with the Gallic gun that could potentially destroy the planet. You have Goku utilizing his new power-up, the Kaioken. And the most iconic manga panel, anime cell, anime screenshot is the Kaioken Kamehameha Wave times 4 versus the Gallic gun. Amazing moment. Hands down, probably easily top 5 best moments of Dragon Ball Z, period. This is the reason why it's number 2 again. It set the tone. It was for sure a do or die moment because everybody else was dead but Krillin and Gohan. And Vegeta easily killed Nappa. So we know who the strongest guy was. And Goku had to be the guy to beat the guy. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, hey, hold on a second. Didn't Yajirobe get involved in this fight? Didn't technically Krillin was going to kill Vegeta? I cut this fight off where Goku sends him, and by him I mean Vegeta, sends Vegeta into the stratosphere with the times 4 Kamehameha Wave. That's where round 1 ends. Round 2 is where Vegeta goes grade 8. The entire fight with round 1 and round 2, that whole thing is amazing. But singling out this where it's the one-on-one, it hits all of those three boxes that I'm asking for when picking Goku's top anything fights. This was easily the first one I thought of, and easily one of the first two I thought of. And now for my number one, which I'm pretty sure if you know me, if you know Shane, if you know Mr. Turtles and Tentacles, you know this is probably my favorite fight. It is Super Saiyan 2 Goku versus Majin Vegeta. Of the 90s, the way this fight was animated, perfectly animated. Just it's what we as Dragon Ball Z fans were waiting for. We were always wondering if Goku and Vegeta would fight again. I mean, after everything they had been through, it looked like they were becoming friends. And then you get a frustrated Vegeta going, "No, I don't want to be weak. I want to be stronger. I want to be stronger than you." To the point of tricking this evil wizard Bobbity, into giving him a power boost. He willingly became evil. And right before this fight, Vegeta uses Final Impact and kills this giant stadium. He kills easily a third of the attendance. And just everyone thought Vegeta had changed, which he did, which led to him having a bit of an identity crisis, which led to this fight. This fight is high stakes. The stakes are high because the more they fight, and anybody with that Majin symbol on it, the more that you fight, the more energy you're giving to release a Majin Buu. And Goku knew it. Vegeta knew it. Goku knew there was no getting around fighting his friend. He just told the others, take care of Bobbity and Dabur. Just take care of this. I'll fight Vegeta. And we get one of the best fights because you get trash talk. You get Vegeta's amazing speech about, I am the Prince of all Saiyans. I have a royal bloodline. Yet I'm always a half step behind you. You're from low class. Your father was a low class warrior. You're a low class warrior. You're a clown. He literally says, you are a clown, Kakarot. I'm tired of losing to you. And from there, you get one of the best fights ever. You get Vegeta smacking Goku. That's a gif. Look up that gif. Vegeta smacking Goku. This fight means a lot to me, and it might be a little bit of bias going into this, but you don't get any other better fights than this during the Buu saga. After this, you get Vegeta's legendary sacrifice. You get Vegito, Gotenks, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, Gohan unleashing his abilities. You get all that. I argue that this is the last great fight in that entire saga. You get two amazing characters that we've seen grow up we've seen Goku grow up, period, but we've seen Vegeta's transformation from the Saiyan saga all the way up until now. It's fantastic. So, these are the top 10 Goku fights. Remember, these are just fights with Goku fighting one-on-one. There can be some other fights that people don't think that people think are better. Some people might think the Jiren fight's better. Some people might prefer the Frieza one. I say Majin Vegeta. I actually asked my mom when I went to Walmart if I could have the VHS, showing my age, the VHS tape of this. I did not want to buy anything else because I watched that fight over and over and over again. Easily. Best fight in the series. Please, I invite you to look up these fights, watch them. It's going to be a little bit difficult for the GT ones, but the GT arcs aren't that long. I would just say watch GT. I'm going to do a video later on why people don't like GT and why it's basically the black sheep and they had to go ahead and make Dragon Ball Super to erase that. So, tell me what you think down below. You're a fan of Goku? Do you hate Goku? What's your favorite form of Goku? I'm pretty partial to Super Saiyan 4 and Kaioken mode. But until next time, guys, this is Shane, aka Turtles and Tentacles. So I'm going to sign off. I hope you guys are staying safe during this whole pandemic we got going on. You be blessed. Make good decisions. I'll see you next time.